In this video, we're going to talk about finding the least common multiple, or LCM. One way to describe the least common multiple is to think of it as the smallest number that two or more numbers will divide evenly into. For example, suppose I have the number 8 and the number 10, and I want to find their least common multiple. I'll start by doing a prime factorization on each number. 8 can be broken down into 2 times 4, where 2 is a prime number, and 4 can be broken down into 2 times 2, both primes. So now we've done a prime factorization on 8. For 10, we know that 2 divides into 10 5 times. 5 is also a prime number, so here my prime factorization is complete. Now, I have 2 cubed for 8, and I have 2 times 5 for 10. The way to find the least common multiple is to look at each prime factor, choose the one that occurs with the greatest frequency for each factor, and then multiply all of them together. For example, I have prime factors 2 and 5 that I'm working with between these two numbers. So I'm going to use the 2 whose exponent is largest. Here I have 2 to the third, so that's what I'll use. My other prime factor is 5. It only appears once, so I'll use that. Now I multiply them together. 2 to the third equals 8. 8 times 5 equals 40. And it turns out that our least common multiple, or LCM, for the numbers 8 and 10 equals 40. Let's take a look at another example. Suppose I have the numbers 75 and 200, and I'd like to find their least common multiple. I'll do the same thing, a prime factorization on 75, beginning with the number 5, which I know is a prime number that divides evenly into 75. 5 divides into 75 15 times. 15 can be broken down to 3 times 5, both prime numbers. Now let's break down the number 200. I know that 5 divides into 200 40 times, and 5 is my prime number. 5 divides into 40 8 times. 2 divides into 8 4 times, and 4 is a product of 2 times 2. So now I have a complete prime factorization for each number. 75 can be written as 3 times 5 squared, and 200 can be written as 2 cubed times 5 squared. Now I look at each of my factors. I have 2, 3, and 5. 2 to the third is the highest exponential value of 2. Then I have 3. 3 to the first is the highest exponential value of 3. And 5 squared is the highest exponential value of 5. Now all that's left for me to do is to multiply all of my factors together and generate my LCM. 2 cubed equals 8 times 3 times 5 squared, which is 25. I know that 25 times 3 equals 75. And 75 times 8, 0, carrier 4, 56, is equal to 600. So there's our LCM. The LCM for 75 and 200 is 600. That concludes this video, and I hope you have found it helpful.